Hey, what's happening? Wasabi. Um, let's look at something really neat. And simplicity is divinity. That's my motto. A lot of people really would love to shoot in bad weather conditions. Even when it's raining or pouring, there's a buddy of mine that loves shooting waterfalls, and he likes to crawl behind the waterfall. But the spray that actually comes overhead and whatnot is it's enormous and unbearable. And I used to fix cameras, and there's no such thing as a weatherproof camera. I'm sorry to inform you that if you think your camera is weatherproof, and the Fuji X-T1 is weatherproof, but that doesn't really mean anything. It's sealed against invasive weather conditions. I mean, splash, drop, a little sprinkle here. It's sealed against that. But it's not sealed against pervasive. In other words, you can't be like my buddy was sitting behind a waterfall, with just crud just coming back and not expect, corrosion, humidity damage. You plan on shooting outdoors, in nasty rainfall. You can't do it. It's meant for brief periods. No camera is sealed against pervasive weather. Humidity-wise, like if you're in the Amazon or something and it just got done raining and the humidity is like 200%, forget about it. It's like, well, my camera survived it. No, it's on a slow decline. There is internal corrosion forming. So let's look at something really neat. These are large Ziploc bags. Now this will work with a Fuji, a 27mm lens, XT1, XT10. It'll also work with a 35mm f2, the 23mm, the 14, the 16mm. It won't work with the 18 to 55. It's a little too long. You need a larger bag for that. These are large Ziploc freezer bags. So let's show you something neat. It's like, I know you think you've thought of this before, but you haven't. Let's show you something neat. Okay, place your bag in the freezer bag. Don't seal it. Okay, and just hold it normally. Let you function. And by the way, you can see through the viewfinder perfectly well. And you're going to seal it at the end here, but I'm going to show you what to do. Okay. So you're going to place it there, and then what you're going to notice is the center right here. Mark that with a Sharpie marker. Doink! Okay. And after you've done that, what you do is what I've got here. I'm going to show you something in a second. And no, you're not going to be shooting through plastic, okay? On the inside of this bag, I have a AR-coated Hoya filter. It's got a little scratch on it. You're using it as an AR-coated window, okay? So you stick the filter in here. You stick your lens hood over here is the metal lens hood. It will screw together and it will form an airtight, watertight seal. Okay, it's like, well, you got plastic in between there. You sandwich the two, you screw them together. Okay, great. You got a perfect watertight seal, but then you got the plastic down here, right? So what you do is you take an X-Acto knife and you cut out around the edges and you just rip that plastic out, and then you drop your camera in, and the only thing that you're actually shooting through, and the camera will autofocus fine, by the way, the only thing you're actually shooting through is that glass. One second, let me seal up the base of the Ziploc here. And you could be out shooting in the waterfall, the bad weather, all day long, all you want. Squeeze out a little bit of the air. Okay, now it's perfectly sealed. All you have to do is take it in a prior location, cinch up the distance, and your camera can autofocus. And the only thing between that lens and the outside world is that little filter. And there's no different than having a filter on the front of your lens anyway, except now your camera can autofocus fine. No problem. It will autofocus fine. It's completely sealed against the elements. I mean, I could take this and dunk it down in the water 4 or 5 feet, not that I would, and it would still be perfectly bone dry. You have to cinch up the back of this, and you could actually do what I've done when I was out shooting in the rain some time ago when it was rainy last. I love shooting in bad weather conditions. There's a lot of beautiful pictures that are missed. I'm not going to take my camera gear out in that bad weather, and that's understandable. It's like, I got an expensive camera, and I know about corrosion. It's right, you're smart, you know about that. You can cinch it like this to actually draw it flat if you want. You can see through the viewfinder perfectly fine. I mean, I kid you not. You can operate everything back here. You can chimp on your pictures. You could rotate the front and rear command dials. it works just fine. And you're perfectly sealed. You can spend a lot of money to buy a waterproof case that you're probably, you're going to use this infrequently, but if you want to go out and capture, the raindrops after, falling off of something or during a rainstorm and catch unique pictures, a lot of photographers, avoid the crappy weather and the snowy weather too, and it's understandable. It's not so much direct physical infiltration of your camera via heavy rain, which will let you shoot. You can shoot with this as well. It's the pervasive humidity. It's just so sticky, awful outside. Right after a rainstorm, and you're worried about corrosion on your camera. But there's a lot of beautiful photographic moments, that exist at that period of time. Now this is a metal lens hood from an 85mm. It's an HN23. You could use any sort of metal lens hood, and I've just mated it up with the front through screw threads of a AR-coated Hoya filter, I think this is. It's a Nico filter, doesn't matter as long as it's AR-coated. So this is no different. I didn't rip the plastic out of the front of this one, by the way. I'm just showing you this one. And you can keep this in your camera bag for any time you got a bad weather situation. Once you build it, then here's how much room it takes up in your camera bag. I'm going to fold it up a little bit and squeeze the air out of it. Went a little too far there, like that. So this is how tight it is in your camera bag. Doesn't weigh anything either. Awesome, huh? Thanks for watching. If you like this video, drop me a buck or two, or you can tell me to jump off a cliff or go play in a rainstorm, or a lightning storm probably is what you would say, but this works. This works perfectly. Now you can't stick in, a long telephoto lens inside this bag. I guess if you found some super gigantic freezer bags like this, you could, but, still most of Fuji's primes and, a couple of their shorter, mid-range zooms, you can. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later. This works, and it works really well, I promise you. Go make one. It'll cost you $1. Assuming you already have the lens hood and filter, that is. Bye.